Annie from the Pleasant Hills Public Library, and I am so excited you are here with me today for another STEAM Stories. So, before we get into today's experiment, let's review. Do you remember what all the letters in STEAM stands for? I bet you do. S is for science. T is for technology. E is for engineering. A is for arts, and M is for mathematics. And we're going to be using all 5 of those subject areas today to delve a little deeper into the world of chemical reactions. There are many different types of chemicals in the world, and most of them you should never, ever, ever mix. But today we're going to be doing an experiment with 2 pretty common types of chemicals, a base and an acid. In this case, we are going to be using baking soda for our base and vinegar for our acid. And when you mix the 2, there's quite a reaction. So let's learn a little bit more about what it means to be a base and what it means to be an acid with some pictures and short videos.
There are many different types of chemicals, but today we'll be looking a little bit closer at 2 special kinds, acids and bases. Whether something is an acid or a base depends on what type of ions or electrically charged molecules it has. If it has a lot of hydrogen ions or positively charged molecules, it's an acid. If it has a lot of hydroxide ions or negatively charged ions, it's a base. Scientists use something called a pH scale, seen here, to measure how acidic or basic something is. pH is measured from 0 to 14. 0 to 7 are acids, with 0 being the strongest, and 7 to 14 are bases, with 14 being the strongest. 7 is considered neutral, with distilled water being a prime example. Acids and bases can be found just about everywhere. They can be found in nature and in the food we eat. Citrus fruits like lemons and oranges have citric acid in their juice, and that's what makes lemons so sour. In general, acids taste sour or tart, and bases taste bitter. Acids and bases can also be found in our bodies. Our bodies use hydrochloric acid to help digest food, kill bacteria, and generally keep us healthy. When acids and bases are combined, they neutralize each other. Sometimes this process will produce a carbon dioxide gas, and that comes in really handy when you're baking. Adding baking soda can help dough or batter rise, like with these delicious-looking cookies. Perhaps you've created a baking soda volcano before, like the one pictured here. In this experiment, baking soda is poured into a bottle. Vinegar, sometimes with food coloring, is then poured in, causing the carbon dioxide bubbles to spurt up and out, similar to a volcanic eruption. Today's experiment uses that same principle, but in a slightly different way. So let's learn more.
All the supplies you'll need for today's experiment are available in a take-home kit inside our lobby. Now, if you can't get our kit for whatever reason, the supplies are pretty basic, and you probably already have them at home. You're going to need a tissue, 1/2 cup vinegar, and you're also going to need a sandwich bag that can seal. Our kit has the vinegar already in the bag. And 2 tablespoons baking soda. This experiment has the potential to get a little messy, so it's best to do it outside or in a sink or a tub. Let's head over to the craft table to learn how to start this experiment. To start, lay out your tissue nice and flat. Get your baking soda and pour it in the middle. Remember, this is 2 tablespoons worth of baking soda. Oh, there we go. Quite the mountain. Now you're going to take your tissue and fold it up into a little square packet. However works best for you. You want to have it so that you can hold it and none of it leaks out while you're holding it. All right. Now, you're going to need your baggie. And as I said before, this is best to do either outside or in a sink or a tub. We're going to do it once for the sake of this video in this tub, and then we'll try it again outside, closer up. So you're going to hold your bag open like this, and be very careful not to let it spill, not to drop it. You're going to take your baking soda packet and you're going to hold it towards the top. Now this part is a little tricky, so if you have someone to help you, it might be good. You want to hold the baking soda packet up above the vinegar while you seal the bag, and you want to make sure it's properly sealed. Go over it, make sure there's no chance the vinegar is going to spill out. All right, I think it's good. And then what we're going to do is we're going to drop the baking soda into the vinegar, give it a little shake, and then set the bag down and watch what happens. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Can you see it? It's growing. It's growing. Is it gonna explode? I don't know.
When baking soda is mixed with vinegar, something new is formed. The mixture quickly foams up with carbon dioxide gas. Because we wrap the baking soda up in a tissue, not all of it touches the vinegar right away, so the reaction is timed to slowly build up, creating more gas and pressure inside the bag. The expansion of the gas stretches the bag to its breaking point. So, will it explode?
So friends, my bag didn't explode. And when I was wondering why, I realized that my bag here has a very tiny little hole right here, and so it's leaking just a little bit. And I think that's allowing just enough of the pressure to escape to not explode. Still though, pretty cool how it stretched this bag out. Now let's try this experiment one more time in hopes that we can get it to explode. But this time, let's take it outside. All right, friends, we're outside. Are you ready for take 2? I have my baking soda, I have my vinegar. I'm going to very carefully hold it above the vinegar while making sure that my bag is completely sealed. Double check on that. All right, I don't hear any more sounds. I think it's ready. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Whoa! Look at that! It exploded! And it's still going. If you're having fun with this experiment, or if for some reason yours doesn't work right away like our first try, if you have baking soda, vinegar, a tissue, and a plastic bag that seals, you can repeat it to your heart's content. But before you take anything from your house, make sure to ask a grown-up. Well, hopefully your bag exploded and didn't just balloon up like mine did. But either way, I hope you had fun. Tune in 2 more weeks on October 27th to learn how to make a static electricity zombie. And the kits for that will be available the Monday prior. All right, my friends, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to us at pleasanthills@einetwork.net or give us a call at 412-655-2424. Until I see you again, stay safe and have a great day. Bye.